Good evening. In breaking news, a jury just minutes ago has found one of Australia's most senior Catholic leaders guilty of horrific sex crimes 6 years after 7 News first broke the allegations against him. Former Bishop of Broome, Christopher Saunders, hosted alcohol-fuelled parties preying on young Aboriginal men.
The Perth jury deliberated for 7 hours, finding him guilty on 13 counts, including rape. Chief reporter Chris Reason broke the story back then and spearheads our coverage tonight.
His fall from grace complete. Christopher Saunders, 45 years a priest, 25 years a bishop, the rest of his life a convicted sex offender.
Mr Saunders, do you have anything to say about the trial?
A pivotal moment that will rock the Catholic Church. Saunders now officially the highest ranked Catholic in history, guilty of sex crimes.
Oh my God.
For the whistleblowers who launched this case,
I couldn't be more thrilled. It's a disgrace and it's a shame on the Catholic Church.
Finally, justice is being served for all those young men.
The 76-year-old former Bishop of Broome, guilty of 12 counts of indecent assault, 1 of sexual penetration. But he'd always refused the confession.
Without any reservation, that has never happened.
That was after 7 News broke the allegations 6 years ago that he was under investigation for historical sex crimes.
The Aboriginal people in the Kimberley, those young men deserve more.
His own priests had turned whistleblowers, coming to 7 News after the church refused to act and police inquiries stalled. The bishop's own secretary spoke out.
I think of all these young men whose lives have been affected.
His case went all the way to the Pope, who ordered his own Vatican investigation, the first ever in Australia, producing an explosive report that was leaked. It's 200 pages long and damning. The Vatican has a copy, so too does 7 News. It called Saunders a sexual predator, possibly grooming up to 67 vulnerable young Aboriginal men. A year later, 2024, police swooped.
Bishop Saunders, did you ever think that it would end up like this?
Excuse guys.
In total, 19 charges, 3 victims over 11 years.
Bishop, how was your night in the cells, in the police cells, Bishop?
They fought the charges as vigorously as they did our reporters.
Your safety...
Police taking the unprecedented step of installing hidden cameras in the bishop's home. The court heard one young man was groomed from age 16, offences escalating from touching to kissing, naked wrestling, penetrative sex, fuelled by an endless supply of church-funded alcohol, cigarettes and cash.
I also think they should excommunicate him from the Catholic Church.
Until it's done, I'm going to call on every Catholic not to put money in the plate.
The jury disagreed. He'll be sentenced at a later date, with the case now headed to Rome, the Pope to consider his verdict too.
Our Chief Reporter Chris Reason first broke this story, joins us here now. Chris, this is a dark day for the Catholic Church.
But a great day for the victims, Michael. This is justice. It's been a long time coming. The police and the whistleblowers are now hoping that others will come forward. When we started this investigation 6 years ago, we got a copy of a list from the bishop's office wall. It had over 60 names of young men. Vatican investigators thought all were potential victims. Now, the thing I found most disappointing and disturbing about this case is that the Catholic Church refused to act time and again when we gave them the evidence. The archbishops of this country need to be called to account on that.
Chris Reason, thank you. Students at one of Sydney's most prestigious schools are at the centre of a major police investigation tonight. 3 teenage boys from Scots College have been charged, accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl in the eastern suburbs last month.
After an extensive investigation, the boys were arrested in raids on homes this morning. Let's go live now to Nick Overall at Scots College at Bellevue Hill. Nick, how old are these boys?
Michael, 2 of them are 14, 1 is just 13. All 3 teenagers were arrested early this morning in their eastern suburbs homes. Police allegedly also found 2 replica firearms, a Glock-style BB gun, 3 laser pointers and a number plate believed to be stolen. Police also seized a number of electronic devices that will be forensically examined. The alleged assault happened on the evening of July 22nd on a 14-year-old girl in an alleyway in the eastern suburbs. Now, the boys have been charged with aggravated sexual assault and sexual touching. Scots College says it's aware of the alleged incident. They are cooperating with police, and that it's important the investigation is allowed to run its course. All three teenagers have been granted bail on strict conditions. They are set to face the Children's Court on August 25th.
Nick, overall, thank you. A rising Sydney golf star has died after suffering a brain hemorrhage. 18-year-old Jessica Bang was in Bangkok preparing for a tournament there. She made a name for herself in February this year when she won the Ford Regional Championship in Moss Vale. Golf New South Wales says it's devastated to learn of her passing, adding that she was a talented golfer with a bright future ahead of her and she will be deeply missed. Anthony Albanese is finding himself in an even deeper mess over the Japanese melons scandal. Today, Chris Minns even had to bail him out of a tricky press conference.
That intervention came to the delight of Angus Taylor, but the opposition leader had an ugly media run-in of his own.
On a mission to save blue-collar jobs in the Hunter, where one nation threatens to pillage Labor's base.
We need to be a country that makes things.
Taxpayers providing $2.5 billion to keep 1,000 jobs beyond 2029, $2.5 million per worker. A lifeline for Rio Tinto's Tomago smelter, producing aluminium for domestic manufacturing.
What this is about is protecting Australia's national interests.
New South Wales Premier Chris Minns stepping in to protect him over the Japanese melon muddle.
Well, can you just give us a straight answer?
Use my hands. Look, I've answered this question many times.
Instead of deflecting, can you just
go and ask 1,000 workers what they care about today? Honestly, this is the biggest announcement for this region in a generation. Exactly. Can we just talk about it for 5 minutes?
While in Canberra, Angus Taylor was being grilled over a New South Wales ICAC investigation.
I'm going to let the Commission. I'm asking you specific questions. I'm not asking you for a running commentary on ICAC.
His advisor later attacking the questioner, 10 News' Ashley Raper.
Are your ratings that bad? Seriously, that's a frickin' disgrace.
What, asking questions about an ICAC inquiry?
Yeah, and he's answered them like 500 times.
No, he has not asked specific
No wonder
questions.
10 plus got cut.
As Angus Taylor's warned, he might get cut too. 6 months to the day after toppling Susan Lee for the leadership, now advised to watch his own back. After moderate Liberal Senator Andrew Bragg countered several official coalition positions, including advocating a higher migration target than Angus Taylor suggested.
Well, Andrew's not our spokesperson for immigration. He was sharing a personal view.
Mr Taylor calling Senator Bragg into his office today to be counselled over his personal views.
Is Andrew trying to destabilise Angus Taylor's leadership?
Only Andrew can speak to his motivations.
Senator Bragg says he just wants the Liberals to be ambitious. It is hard, though, to be ambitious when the Liberals are wallowing at a lowly 18 points in the polls, the same catastrophic level that saw Susan Lee dumped in February. The question being asked around the corridors here tonight is whether Angus Taylor now will survive to Christmas. He is struggling to find a voice, but the problem is bigger than just one person. Angus Taylor has announced the biggest tax reform policy since the GST, and who would know? He's promising to index the income tax scales to end bracket creep and put $1,000 a year into the pockets of average workers. And absolutely no Liberal politician, including himself, is talking about it. Instead, they're talking about themselves.